on, guys? So we are back with the black Miata, and in today's video I picked up a Paco Motorsports 3-inch lift kit from Moss Miata, and we are going to be installing it in the black Miata. And last night I went on Marketplace and I found some 28 1115s and 28 915s. So I haven't seen a staggered side-by-side tire style setup on a Miata, and I think that's going to look pretty sick. And while we have the wheels off, of course, I'm probably going to sandblast these and powder coat them kind of almost like a tan, the same color as the top. And when I do the bumpers, I'll probably powder coat those tan as well. And I also haven't put this car on the lift yet, so we're gonna get the car over on the lift. I know I have that brake line I still have to fix, so I'll replace the brake line and we will dive into the lift kit. All right, so this thing actually isn't too bad. I really expected to put this on the lift, being as rusty as the rockers and the fenders, quarters and all that are, because I mean, those are pretty rotted. I really expected everything under this car to be pretty bad, but like frame rails are really good, subframes are really good. I'm actually like extremely shocked on how rotted this thing isn't. So that's a good thing. But my brake line situation is this brake line here. It crosses up over the subframe and comes into this junction block here. So that's perfect. I can just unthread that thing, pull it right out, and I can go get another line that already has fittings on it. So that thing's easy peasy. And then after that, we can start on the lift kit. All right, just got the brake line off. Shane is degreasing this engine because somebody's coming to buy it today. We're gonna go grab some food and a new brake line, and we'll be back. All right, new brake line is installed. And I ended up changing the oil too because it was in the air, so why not? How you doing up there?
Coming down.
So throw some oil in it and start working on the lift. All right, so got the passenger side front on. The front ones are pretty straightforward. It's basically just a strut extension. So kind of what you're gonna do is get a buddy, put a bar in the control arm, pull the lower strut bolt off. They give you new supplied ones with the riser. For driver's side, for instance, the riser goes on this direction, so the block on the side there is facing towards the back. And then there is a bolt on the bottom where there's a factory bolt on the bottom of this bracket. Just snapped. Yep, which this one snapped, so this one's gonna get welded, but you sandwich the bolt between this bracket and the factory, and then you put a new bolt through this hole, and then the strut goes to the top hole through that one, and then it gives you your rise. So, like I said, grab a buddy, pull the control arm, and slam it in. So basically pull the control arm down, put that lower bolt in first to line it up, and then we can push back down on the pipe to get the strut bolt lined up. And that's pretty much it for the front. All right, the rear is in, back together. The rear ones are actually quite a bit easier than the front, in my opinion. We took out the upper control arm bolt on this side, and it says to remove the sway bar, so remove the rear sway bar, and as soon as we did that, what?
With a grinder?
With a grinder, yeah, with a grinder. Anyway, as soon as you do that, control arm fell right down. That block went in. You got the main bolt in the lower control arm there, and then you have that 1/2-inch bolt, if you can see it right there, that goes through the control arm right there. And after that, you're all done. So this thing looks funny on the lift, and Shane's gonna lower it down now and see how stupid it really looks with these little tires on it. Oh, there's still a hammer in the bumper. It looks so funny. All right, so next thing, get these 28s on those wheels. Like I said, I'm gonna pull those wheels, gonna get done tan, probably powder coat them unless I'm lazy, and just paint them tan. But that is the next step. All right, so it's about a week later and I don't need this hammer anymore, but I got the wheels done with the tires on them, and they look pretty sick. That is one of the fronts, and those are the rears on the back of my truck frame. I'm redoing this frame on the side. I'm not filming it just because it's such a tedious process sitting there needle scaling and painting and blah, blah, blah. So today we're gonna get the tires and wheels mounted up on the car and see how much we're gonna have to cut. I really hope we don't have to cut too much, being that I did a little bit smaller of a tire, but it would be pretty nice for these to just fit. So let's get to it. All right, so before I let this down, I'm just gonna take the grinder and cut this little section out of pitch weld, just because you can obviously see when I let this down, that's going to be in the way. So I'm just gonna take that and trim that a little bit. I'm not too worried about the fit and finish of this right now because I'm probably gonna do like a license plate or something over this anyway, so enough. All right, so first look here, this fender is definitely gonna be in the way. And if you remember the other side, this whole section is rotted. So I do think I'm gonna cut this whole piece off, but just for now, I'm just going to cut the fender itself just to clearance it. But also, I don't know if you see from there, front bumper is also gonna hit. But like I said, we're gonna make bash bars. So from this body line down, it's gotta go anyway. Probably a good thing that I cut that. That thing is full. All right, now with that cut off, like I said, I'm gonna be building a bumper on the front. So the stock crash bar there that's behind the bumper, that will probably be coming off. And let's see if these tires fit. All right, moment of truth. Let's get this thing on the ground, see what it looks like. Man, this thing looks so wild just with the awful alignment that it has, but look at this thing. Like I said, the positive camber in the front is pretty ridiculous. Obviously, I gotta reset the toe now too, but man, this thing looks freaking insane. I cannot wait to get it outside and see what it looks like. All right guys, so as you just saw, the car's outside. So, a couple problems here. Just pulling out of the garage to up here to back over. That is way too close. That hits pretty good, and that hits pretty good. So, I do have flares that I bought for the Mustang actually that I never end up using. The rear obviously looks like it's gonna be fine, but I think I'm gonna take the front flares, cut here where I did, continue that across and kind of like flare it out here, and then put the flares on the front. That is also if I don't buy the, they have a 1/2 inch spacer that goes on top of the strut, on the strut tower. I might buy that as well because sitting outside sits a little front heavy. So, I don't know, see where that goes. But I think I'm gonna wrap the video up here. Next I should be doing, I think, bumpers. I think bumper's gonna be next. It's gonna look sick with the tube front bumper off the front with a winch. Yep. So, like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one.